What if you lived on a diet of Coca-Cola? We'll dive into the consequences to your health, your performance, and even your mindset.
When I'm in the shower, two things. I'm always listening to something motivational because I'm going to use that time to move forward. I'm a little more than wash my ass and my nuts. I'm going to make sure that I feed my brain a little bit. We put that shit in our stomachs and then wonder why we feel like hell.
Yes.
You know, why don't you have a swig off a fucking goddamn bottle of paint thinner? Same thing.
I did bodybuilding for 10 years. I think I actually was like pretty
Good morning, good time. Good morning, Liam.
In terms of actually having a life, but still competing at a high level. I think the weirdest thing I've done on a date in my life when I was young is I took a protein shake with me. I was at a comedy club. I'm in my 20s. I had the powder in there.
Ground beef in a bag, a little bit of sauce that you enjoy. Eating on the run has never been so easy.
Men will do everything except go to therapy. And bodybuilding is weird sometimes. Or bodybuilders are weird sometimes.
Like, this man lives different, to say the least. And it takes some getting used to, but I've known this big mother effer since I was a young gym cub.
I always say, I do the shit that most people won't do.
Exactly.
This is it. This is it.
Man lives different.
Start by replacing just one daily soda with water. Think about the energy boost you'd get. Just think about it. The improved focus, the sense of accomplishment. Just think how great you're going to feel for making a healthy choice. Listen, in the lab, in life, it's every step that counts, no matter how small those steps are. He addresses key challenges through low sales, employee engagement, and leadership development.
My morning routine starts with the man upstairs. Yeah, I have to center myself and I have to thank him.
Yes.
And I have to start with just looking at the challenges of the day and making sure that he can help me get through that. As soon as I open my eyes, I start praying and reflecting upon what happened the day before, what's coming up, and what I need strength for in that particular day. We have to understand that throughout the day, we're going to face challenges, right? And I say they come in two folds, right? People and circumstances. Every single day, there are individual battles. Some of them are larger than others. Some of them are smaller, but you're going to face some, right?
If somebody's talking smack, you're on the right track.
People have different triggers.
Yeah.
And depending on those triggers, that's going to determine whether they accept your feedback or not. The key here is what we communicate, how we communicate it so that they take the message. You have to know your people so that you know whether this person likes direct communication, whether this person responds better to more of a soft skill approach.
You got to understand who you're talking to. You got to understand what's going to help them. It's not about if you coach or lead in the same way, it's going to be great with some and terrible for others. If you coach or lead like everybody's the same, you're a fucking terrible coach or leader. It's that simple.
You have to coach people to be coached, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
A lot of people don't know how to be coached.
Problem with a lot of coaches is that they want to meet people where they think they should be.
What happens if you only drank Coca-Cola? That's it, just Coca-Cola.
The problem with a lot of leaders is that when they step into a leadership position, they're looking for influence, right? Because that influence leads to the outcomes, right? So they all want influence. But what happens is what that influence needs is something that sits beneath it, right? It has to have a foundational pillar. Leadership is about influence. It's John C. Maxwell, man, one of the godfathers of leadership, where he goes back into one of his early books and he says, leadership is influence. She's on a broken leg and she's running down this runway to complete this vault on a broken leg. And she nails that thing.
I got goosebumps.
But it's the impact of him having that conversation with her. Shake it off. There's so much trust that was laid as a foundation.
Yeah.
If we want to get our people to lead, our people to follow us from a leadership aspect, then we have to make sure that leadership is built on that influence, and that's built on the loyalty aspect, and that's built on the values.
I think I can, but no effing idea. And John just puts that will, that guidance, that belief into my head.
I bled with them and I let them see that I was willing to bleed just as hard as I was going to ask them to bleed.
You're not going to, you have no chance at winning if everyone's not on the same page.
The word love in corporate America doesn't really go too well with a lot of people, but I'm going to tell you this. I have been able to outperform many other leaders and do things that others did not deem possible because I was able to build that. You cannot inspire someone if you don't know them. I guarantee you would get them to do things that they're not willing to do today. In order to gain trust, it's simply three things. Number one, we have to be sincere. Number two, we have to be knowledgeable of what we're talking about at that moment. And number three, we have to be reliable. If you want to build trust with your significant other, three things: sincerity, knowledge, and reliability. Always remember that.
Lead with love. And that's my kind of magic ingredients to leadership. But you just got to put down the Coca-Cola and all the fucking bread you're eating.
Right. Rather than have a fight with that voice, agree with it. Say, you know what, you're right. It's going to suck to get up and not hit that snooze button. I'm going to do it anyway.
Movement is momentum. Just get those legs moving. Just get moving. Just get moving.
Choices can have an impact. Wisely.
When people are stressed out all fucking day and they got the IV drip of cortisol, this is what completely fucks us up.
After losing 115 pounds post football and getting shredded, 8-pack abs, that whole deal, that inflammation, that pain, that feeling fat, the back pain completely gone. The knee pain much more manageable.
Most people have no idea what not feeling inflamed actually feels like.
What happens if you drink too much Coca-Cola? Holy fuck, man. I got this resume from like 1980. I hear this world about personal branding. I just learned Google search and Microsoft Word, and now I got to learn this AI stuff. Where do I start?
You used to work really fucking hard and you got great opportunities for that. That's not being rewarded the same thing anymore. Your LinkedIn is your resume. And if it's not sorted out, I promise you, you're fucking yourself over.
I don't have an interest in going back to normal. I want to take this shit that I have and I want to keep moving forward with it. That's what makes me happy.
We know the consequences of drinking Coca-Cola are disturbing. But what would happen, Johnny, Alex, Tina, producer Jimmy, if all you drank was Coca-Cola? What if you uploaded your brain? What if you had the strength of a superhero?
Now let's take that one step further and imagine only drinking Coca-Cola for the rest of your life. What effects does Coca-Cola have? A woman in Monaco stopped drinking water and only drank Coca-Cola for 16 years straight. One of the main ingredients you'd need to worry about is the high fructose corn syrup. That's because our bodies don't metabolize it, and this could lead to a fatty liver. Symptoms of a fatty liver include fatigue and pain in the upper right abdomen. After years of only drinking Coke, you'd eventually be 600 pounds with a huge list of health issues. But although drinking only Coke for a week, a month, or even a year wouldn't kill you, it doesn't mean you should do it.
With that type of sugar, it's a drug at that point. You're addicted to sugar.
The human body is one heck of a machine that can bounce back if you treat it right.
I realized when I found soda water was I just wanted the bubbles. I just wanted like something different. This one person empire, if you want to call it that enables people to do that and scale in a way that we've never seen before. If you want to be a good dad, a good husband or a partner, a good business owner, a good community citizen, whatever the fuck it is that's important to you, that is possible. And you don't have to be poor doing it. You can make a fuck ton of money. You got to fucking pick one lane, be really great at it, be the master in that one thing, and go all in, right?
That's what I mean. Like,
there's a simple concept called habituation, where your brain cannot accept the same stimuli delivered the same way and actually acknowledge it for what it is.
Accountability and showing up every single day is the hardest thing. If people ask me, how do I do it? I just show up. There's no magic. To create the biggest morning show platform on the planet. We are owning mornings. Flynn, dropping fucking nuggets left and right. All right,
my
TEDx.
favorite type of guest, because we don't always know what we're gonna get. What if you had no bones? It's so fucking cool. I'm so jacked about this week.